Okay, I'm back again. This is Grandmaster Amarat. I think the problem is fixed. I saw like my microphone was set for my computer instead of for my video camera. So can you hear me now? You guys, anybody in there? Brian, hello, are you there? Let me know. Um, so my talk was on will Africa surpass the United States in 15 years? And I wanted to point out a Fortune 500 article that came out that showed that for the first time ever, thank you guys, the United States has been surpassed by China with more Fortune 500 companies. This is a revelation, and that we need to really take a look at this because in 2000, China had only 8 companies in the Fortune 500, and 20 years later, they have 129 compared to 121 in the U.S. Already, I think many of us already seen articles in the news about that. That China's the top six, no, top 5 banks globally, the ones with the most money, are now Chinese, and the U.S. Bank of America is rated number 9. We think we're living in the United States, and unfortunately, what happens in the country is that they're bombarding us with one thing, but they're not talking about the other things, and they have a really good habit of ignoring things that are really obvious, like 9/11. I mean 9/12 minus 1, and even it's the issue of AIDS. I was doing a comparison from because I'm older. And a lot of you guys that are in your 30s and 40s, I was doing a comparison earlier about how life was in the 70s when I was young and coming up to today and comparing it with today's group. So I was saying that the gas prices back in the 70s when I got my first car was 23 cents per gallon. Now, when you adjust for inflation, you still find that we're paying 3 times more today than we would be if we were if you can compare that with the 1970s. Back in the 70s and early 80s, there was no such thing as AIDS, and we had nobody had any, there was no such thing of it. And of course, when it came out in 1984. And I did a lot of research on it from that time, and I found that it was not true because the fundamental question about AIDS. I mean, the whole thing about what the United States is doing is that they have a deception, and they can make you freeze by giving you misinformation along with the truth. So you can hear the truth, and then they give you misinformation, and then you be confused, and then you don't act. You tend to just wait and see, and this is killing us as Black people. The fact that the United States is showing that they're reducing economically and not telling us, and the government is saying that we're in the best shape that we ever were, and then at the same time the media is saying that the president is lying, and then they keep going back over these statistics. We as Black people, we're freezing, we're being confused. Is America growing or is it not growing? Is it doing this or is it not doing this? And at my age, I lived so many years. I have seen this. Going, and it's just obvious. And a lot of times, brothers that's in their 30s and 40s, they're not really understanding. You're a bit confused. So you just move. What you do is just carry on with your daily. Until something shocking happens. And then when something shocking does happen in your personal life or in your family's, you tend to deal with it and then keep moving, and not realizing that at the bottom line of it is that the economy in America and the way America is doing its business is shifting. I mean, if you can destroy all of Detroit because you take all of the jobs out of America, all of the manufacturing jobs out of America and put them into China, then how can you expect the country to continue to grow at a certain rate? You see, you can't. And they come up with reports, and they put some guy in a suit and tie on TV and tell you, oh, it's okay. America is still strong because no one can reach us at the technological base. This is not true. China has surpassed us. Yahweh has proved that. You see, by coming out with 5G before the United States. What else is there? You see me? I mean, technology is technical, but I'm in technology, and it ain't all that complicated. It all still deals on a basic premise. So I don't think that a lot of brothers that's in their 30s and 40s, when they're trying to decide, because somebody give you information, then you just, your brain tries to figure out what to say or what to think about it, and you decide. But you go out and you look for more information, and you always get this, like, one side is saying this and the other side, which side is saying that, which is really true. And we don't have the time as average people to go out and go looking for the solutions and doing research. It's just that I'm a fanatic, and then I'll go out and I'll look for the research. And then when I find it, it's obvious. And then 99 times out of 100, the United States is either lied, propaganda can't be proven, and then and so on. I mean, if somebody tells us that the plane landed into the Pentagon, and then we look up and we see that video, we see like there's no parts of a plane, and then nobody talks after that. So wait, did the plane land into the Pentagon or not? Did Building 7 fall because of office fires or not? You see, we seem to be so busy and tied up in our daily life trying to hustle and make money that we're not looking at these things that the government has done to that affects us deeply, and then they get away with it. And so when they can get away with it, then the next presidents will come up, they'll do something, and they'll try to get away with it. Surely, if Trump's policies fail, they might go to the by any means necessary book, and the next thing you know, we're in a war against a country that can't touch us, and it wasn't even voted in Congress, and this already has happened. So bombing up countries based on ideology, on lies. Now I know this deals with the foreign matter, but you have to understand today prices and jobs prices have gone up, and jobs are very few, and the ones that we are getting are in the service sector. They're not more like dead-end jobs. America's not creating these kind of companies like it used to, where they would be, you could go there and you can work and move up the ladder, blah, blah, blah. No, and especially, as a black person, because we're going to feel it the worst. And this is why I'm saying in Africa, since I've been here in Africa for 20 years, I have seen a phenomenal, amazing, spectacular growth that's going on here. And I have also sat in a country that the population now is double. Since I was here. I was here in Mombasa in 1999, and I was like, oh, this is a beautiful place, quiet, open field. I remember that. And now today, I actually work at that same spot, And it's funny how things work, because I came on a visit to Mombasa in 1999, and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. One day, I want to live here on this hill. And because the breeze in the evening, like the Santa Ana winds, breeze came in and so beautiful, cooled everything off. And I'm here now. I'm actually working right where I had said that. And there's no more field. There's no more beautiful land. You can't even tell it's a hill, because the population has built all over it. And then when they first came in and started building, the roads were like dirt roads. Yeah, dirt roads. Yeah, I can say. But today, every road is paved. And not just paved like asphalt. No, it's paved with cobblestone, the best quality roads, the ones that don't break down. So I don't know where these people get all this money from to build all these roads that they're doing. But the one thing you could used to say about even in Mombasa, that a lot of the roads were bad. None of them are bad now, and I mean, like, none of the main roads are bad, because they've all been paved. Fiber optic cable was put in all through the area where I stay. So as far as advancement and increasing number of people is here, and the people do migrate. They when Africans see like there's more money in this area, they migrate there. They don't have a problem. Kenyans are one of the most traveling people. You know, not like South Africans. You South Africans, you can give them a U.S. visa, they won't use it. They be like, what for? You see, you go to Tanzanians and you give them visas to the U.S. They're like, what for? You don't see Tanzanians in the U.S. in numbers. You don't see South Africans in the U.S. in numbers, but you damn sure see Kenyans and Nigerians. So this misnomer of like Africans are Africa is poor, and that's why the people are coming to America. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. And we have to stop using that as a reason when people come and tell us that the African why should we move to Africa when the Africans is moving to the United States. This is not true. Few Africans are moving to the United States because they want to try to better themselves economically and they like traveling. Nigerians like traveling, Kenyans like traveling, but Algerians, they don't like travel. Botswanians, okay, that's a few Botswanians. They don't like to travel. They really much satisfied with where they live. They might travel on vacation. They might stay for a year, maybe. But after that, they go back to their country and they live happily. A lot of them go to school in the United States just to say that they went to Britain, London, and Britain to go to school, or France, or the U.S. and say that. But you see, now college is obsolete. College is obsolete because Google has made that thing obsolete. I don't know if you ever use Google, but damn, this thing is just getting off the chain, man. I mean, I just have to type in 2 words and I get all kind of research. And I remember I was researching with Google 10 years ago, and it was like, it was hard. But today they have changed it around, and it's still it's still growing. So what do you need college for? You know what I mean? If everything you need to know, it can be found on Google in within 10 minutes. When I started my CC Gate program back in 2012, I was using Google to find certain areas of coding, and it was like a headache. I mean, I used to like, okay, I don't know the answer to this. Let me go on Google. Here we go. You see, but today it's like 5 minutes, boom, boom, there it is. This is only going to get. It's only going to get better as more and more people use it, and more and more people put in information. So what do you need college for? You know what I'm saying? College is obsolete. You don't look at me like I'm saying it because everybody's saying it. Those people that want to talk, some people want to ignore it like it didn't happen because they spent all that money going to college having fun and then got a mountain of debt. But today's generation, it's not viable, and then you need to look at that. Because if you have children, what you gonna do when they get out of high school? You see, what's gonna be the plan? Are you gonna follow like sheep back, go take them into the college? No, my son is not in college. He's working with me in this company, and he's learned more in 4 months than he could possibly learn in college in 2 years. And at the same time, I can tell him, look, man, you dirty. Keep your work area clean. Put all equipment away before you run out the door and go running off to home. You see, now these are valuable lessons that he couldn't have learned on the job. He would have probably been reprimanded on the job. But right now, by working with me, he's learning the good understanding of the office and office politics. Yeah. So this is, like I said, I'm for the future. I want to give a shout out to 3 people who benefited, speaking of the office work, because business in Africa is booming, and business in Kenya is definitely booming. We just have to make the transition, and then, which is being done right now. So in the company that I started, it's a startup project, I want to thank Kevin Tucker. I don't know if I did it on the last video. Kevin Tucker is out of New York, and he's paid the agreement fee to join in on CC Gate. And what I'm trying to do is, I only charge $80, not for the money, but because anybody that would send out $80 to join a company that they don't know really little about, that means that they're serious. And another thing I like about Kevin is that he's been to Kenya. He's been here to Mombasa and Malindi, and he's planning on coming back. So this is good. And as a young man, he's trying to figure out life and understand everything that's going on, and it's rough. But definitely, he's on the right track because now he's invested in Africa, and it's one small company. You can say I'm invested in Africa. And then I want to thank Brian Cole. I see you're in the chat room, Brian. Thank you for joining the CC Gate. You did that in record time. It was like he didn't even have to think about it. But of course, he has been here. He has seen me in this office. I wish I could show you this place now. It's changed a lot since you've been here. And show you let me see if this camera can work. So, look. Am I upside down? Yeah, you can see all these chairs. Okay. These chairs is because somebody came and invested in chairs for the lab because we had too many kids to do the CC Gate program, and then we had to start charging the students, and we were selling out on the tickets. We were selling tickets to use the program, and then we would sell out every day. But we had been borrowing chairs from another area. The school has 2,000 students, and one of the main challenges is chairs. Since I've come here, the the enrollment has really increased because the word is getting out amongst parents in the community that the school offers computers. Well, not computers, but has a computer program helping the kids. But now we're actually doing our exams with tablets, something that never been done before in Mombasa or even Kenya, as far as I've seen. And it's a grand use for those tablets, and we're just continuing with that. But I want to thank you again, Brian. You see, I know you're just starting out. You want to see what's going on with the thing, but take time. Just know we're using the program every day somewhere in Kenya, and we want to expand it to the millions and millions of students that are out there. Imagine if you have like something like 3-4 million primary students, and to make this program profitable, you only need like 200 students. You see, so where's the problem? Only the problem is marketing. People don't know about the product, and then they're going out and using it, and then we have to be able to replicate it. So once we get our marketing scheme set and replicate it, I'm sure we're going to be making money because we have already done that. I'm just taking it to another school, and the head teacher went outside and had a 400 class 8 students. These are candidates. Asked them how many people know about CC Gate, and every single hand went up. It's just that I was so shocked. I didn't have my camera ready to take the picture when she said that, But definitely business can be booming here, and we're gonna move forward with that. And I want to have some brothers from the U.S. as partners. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the money; it's about the relationships and the life experience. So we're gonna move this company up together. And then when I'm celebrating, I'm gonna have Brian, I'm gonna have Kevin, I'm gonna have all the other investors that came into the program. I think they're now we're like 6 because Hassan is going back to the U.S. Next week, this week, and he was a small investor. He put in $50. And that was about 4 years ago, and he's saying just keep the money in there and see what happens. But yeah. We don't have many investors. Some invested and then they disappeared. So the total was 12. Now I think the 14 that invested, and I think there's like 6 active that we can count. That's for the program. Nobody has put in over $60, but that now I moved it to $80 because that was years ago when we took our last investor. The problem I have, like most startup companies, that you have people that invest in the company, but they don't put input. They just put money and then they just sit back. And we need the help. when you talk to people, talk to them, mention about that you know you're part of the you're part of this business, and we have other businesses that I have that I'm also open up uh, coming in the future. So this is my contribution to brothers in the U.S. trying to get into Africa, wondering if it's possible to do anything in Africa. This is my contribution. This is a very tiny one. It's a small thing, but that's what I can do. You know what I'm saying? So this is we have to take advantage of this boom that's going on that America is trying to hide from us. Africa is serious. Let me repeat that Africa is serious. They're not joking. And it's big. And when these countries start connecting together like they're doing with the African Free Trade Agreement, oh man, you just and shooting Nipsey Hussle with 6 bullets, Africa is booming. You know, while American propaganda is trying to lie to the Chinese are trying to take over Africa and shit, I ain't seen a Chinese man in months. So I don't understand what they're gonna do for me. They don't sell chopsticks at my duka. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why you think like that's gonna they do business with the government like that's gonna change the whole makeup of the whole country. You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do? Come in here with guns and then start being on every corner? You no go there. You no go there. It's not. It's nonsense. And you know what I'm saying? This just shows the fear of America because America's number one weapon is deception. And they use propaganda all day long. And when they tell you use this propaganda against us, our brains freeze and we don't think. You know, we just say, okay, let me just see what's going to happen because if somebody said the Chinese going to take over. So somebody said, who? And then what they're going to do after they take over? You understand what I'm saying? So, and they can't even, they don't, how? They can't even get along. Okay, I have a question. Any opportunities you know of in Kenya for graphic artists, drawing people, comics, etc., animation art? You see, there is a big need for graphic design. It's it's an industry that people don't know. Like I'm a graphic designer, so when I do graphic design, something like this thing here. Oh no, not beautiful that one. Let me use this one. When I make something like this, huh? And I design this logo here, they're going, oh wow, wait, the chef, wow, I never knew it could be so beautiful. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's even a simple letterhead. You see, and this is wide open because a lot of Africa is they're trying to modernize. They're still using the old paper route. They all, the computers are still using like, XP on some computers. Can you imagine Microsoft XP? And then, there are some few young Africans that are, get a computer lucky enough and then they start investing, but they don't have a business sense. They can design that to help, but they don't have business sense and how to turn that into money and profit. And this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know how to make a business. I know how to make a profit with business. I have been doing that for 20 years. So it's just a matter that you have to realize that you're going to have to come and start fresh. And that don't mean you're going to have to sleep on the streets. No one's going to let you sleep on the streets. If you got your skills and you can, then I'll show you how to open up your skills. But if you came with some money, like $600-700, you can set yourself up, rent you a little small room somewhere, and then start your business, and it'll grow. You know, I guarantee that. You know what I mean? Because I have businesses that people come ask me to do like web designing and all this. I'm doing one website yesterday, and I'm like, it was really work. I was like, man, I don't want to be doing this. You know what I mean? Because I'm being called because nobody else can do it at the same price that I'm doing it. So, it's like that. So if I begin graphic tables, I basically can help them and myself a lot. Yes, the problem that we have in America with brothers coming here is that they try to be too technical. They think like the more technical and the more advanced I am, the better the opportunities will be. No, you cannot push Africans quickly. They don't move like that. They're very economical. They're very, tight when it comes to spending their money. And the African concept and it comes from the market when they used to bargain all the time. They love bargaining, and we have to understand these concepts of bargaining. They're going to bargain even if they know they don't have a chance in winning the bargaining. So once you learn that and understand that, then you'll be. So anyway, I want to come on with this short video. If you like what you see, where's my paper? If you like what you see, I talked with the border guy, but I've been too busy here doing the exams. And funny enough, suddenly when I was doing one exam, another class just brought their students to the lab. Organize what you want the exam to say.